Welcome to Best Song Ever. I'm your host, Luke LeBen, and alongside me, as always, is my music loving muchacho, Kevin Connor. Kev, pod into my mouth. Let's talk about Stop Making Sense.
Oh no! Start it over.
Nope. I came up with that this right as we were starting. I was like, I'm going to say pod in my mouth. That's going to be
That is so gross and such a great way to start over.
And to be fair, I mean, sing into my mouth is the lyric. That kind of is gross too. It's about the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Well, Luke, I should really get over it because heartbreak is okay in a place like this.
oh yeah, we saw it.
Yeah.
We got to tell the people what we're talking about.
In IMAX, it was as big as you could. It was a giant gray suit walking into a movie theater filled by Nicole Kidman talking about AMC.
Yep. So Kevin and I went to see Stop Making Sense, the re-release in IMAX put out by A24.
Yep.
Which it's okay. They are a good studio. They're not being struck, I believe, so it's all good with the unions. Because A24 rules. And so it was cool because I was saying to you, like, I watched this on some illegal streaming site because I couldn't find it anywhere, like a couple years ago, when I was going through all the Talking Heads discography and listening to the You Talking to My Talking Head, whatever it's called, podcast. And so it's cool to see it like huge.
Yeah.
And it was your first time experiencing it, and we're going to pick our best songs and our underrated jam. But yeah, first impressions.
So what I realized is I'm not as familiar with the Talking Heads as I thought I was. Because there were some songs I feel like I heard for the first time in that. And
Yeah.
what a way to experience it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is this came out in 1984, which is right after their Speaking in Tongues album. So there are a lot of ones from that. And that's the thing that this made me realize seeing it again is like, I think that's my favorite album of theirs. Speaking in Tongues. That's the one with This Must Be the Place.
Mm-hmm.
There's Slippery People, which we heard.
Yep.
There is...
Isn't that Burning Down
Girlfriend
the
is
House
Better.
as well?
Burning Down the House?
Yeah.
Yes. How could I forget? Girlfriend is Better, which is the song he sings in the big suit.
Yes.
That's from that album too.
Well, and let's
So-
talk about the big suit because the movie
Yeah.
starts. David Byrne
The big
walks
suit of it all.
onto stage, sets down a boombox, which ruled,
says,
and
I got a
is
tape I
in
want to play for y'all.
and is in a small suit. I was
Yes.
shocked. I thought it was big suit the whole way through, and what a surprise to see him in a very
Yes.
well tailored for the '80s suit that
Yes.
he kind
Still
of strips.
baggy.
Yeah, but that was the style at the time.
Yes.
And he goes through two more suits until he gets to the big suit.
Yeah. So while we're in this part talking about the beginning and
Yeah.
talking about the members, how they emerge, and while we're talking fits, next Tina Weymouth comes out, and
Yes.
her like army green pantsuit would still be fashionable today. It's awesome.
100%.
And like they play Heaven, which is great. And then
Yep.
Chris comes out wearing the like normcore thing that they were doing in the 70s.
Yeah.
He's just got like a polo shirt and khakis. He
That-
just looks so out of place.
That dude, no, but that feels timeless as hell. Like he could have worn that into the
Yes.
office today.
But also when Genius of Love comes jumping ahead, but when Genius of Love, just him dressed like that, and then he's basically being like the hype man, being like,
Yeah,
ah, yeah,
girls
it's
can do it
fucking-
too.
The girls can do it too, y'all. My favorite is, it's funkadelic and psychedelic. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I love that it starts with Psycho Killer and a kind
Yes.
of fun iteration on it.
Different
that's just
version. Yeah, it's cool.
acoustic beatbox, like the part where the tape's kind of breaking down and David Byrne is like stumbling across the stage all alone is very cool.
Yeah. The
So-
choreography is amazing.
Incredible. And you know, we're talking about it, we've seen it, but they introduce each band member,
Each member, and then
And,
bring
like,
out
roll out the drum kit on this giant
Yeah.
platform, and then the keyboards, and then like the percussion. So it really starts super stripped back with just David Byrne, a guitar, and a boombox before it gets to the full I think it's like 8 or 9 piece ensemble.
Yeah, because it kind of certain members leave and come back, but that's what Slippery People. You still don't have Alex Weir and Bernie Worrell out yet.
Yeah,
that's like Alex is the other guitarist, Bernie is the keyboardist, and that one is like in my list for best song because we got to talk about the best song, but that's one of mine in contention.
And I knew that was going to be good because you can see in a shot right before that one of the stagehands brings out a pair of bongos and sets it down, and I was like, oh yeah, we're getting into it now.
And Steve Scales goes ham on those bongos.
Wild.
Yeah, he's amazing. And then we've got Edna Holmes and Lynn Mabry, who are the background singers and dancers, which I found out Lynn Mabry's in 20 Feet from Stardom, which makes sense because she's been this amazing like background vocalist for all these great people. Same with Bernie Worrell. Both of them were in P-Funk. And like Bernie Worrell was a founding member of P-Funk.
Wow.
Detroit moved to Detroit here and founded it. And so yeah, they're all like amazing like band members that were added for, and some of them are on the album, not all of them. I think Edna and Lynn aren't, but yeah, just like the whole band. That's why I love Slippery People, because that's when the whole band comes out. They're doing the trading off vocals with David Byrne and the background singers, and it's just so great. And the sound, like, I feel like I like that better than the album version even.
Yeah, it's super fun. So is that your favorite song, Slippery People?
Okay, so I have 3 choices, and I don't know how we want to go, because it's like, do we want to reward the best like performance with the song? Because
you talk about why it's your favorite, because I've got a song coming up that's my underrated pick. Let's go chronologically, and when you finally get to your underrated, we'll go there.
So yeah, Slippery People is my like number 1 choice for best song. My other like honorable mention picks are This Must Be the Place, which is great. Like the whole lamp dance where David Byrne's dancing. It also, just re-listening to that one, it just sounds so good, which it does on the album too. But and seeing Tina doing the was cool. And so that's my other pick. Girlfriend is better. I feel like the argument for Girlfriend is better. It's the big suit. It's when he comes out in the big suit.
It's
and
incredible.
It is a super catchy, like funky song. And so I'm like, I feel like the case could be made for any 3 of those. My underrated jams, I think, Life During Wartime, which is...
That's mine.
Yes.
That's mine.
Oh, that...
especially coming off of Burning Down the House, like that one too. Yeah. And I feel like that is when the band is in full swing for that first part, because it's kind of split into 3 parts. And I listened to the album today to kind of just like refresh myself. And after Life During Wartime, David Byrne's like, we're gonna take a small break, which isn't in the movie, because it just like, I think it cuts to black. And then it like comes back up.
Yeah, you're seeing their like silhouettes or whatever.
Yeah. And like he's changed into a different suit, and everyone else is in like different outfits.
Yeah.
So it was cool to like the album. It was interesting. The album has a little more context to how it's performed than the movie does.
And 2 songs cut, but yeah. So then we can agree the underrated jam is Life During Wartime.
Yes.
Which I think my second favorite Talking Heads album is Fear of Music, which that is on. And also E Zimbra, which is on the album deluxe edition, but it's not in the movie, is also from that album. So yeah, that's a great pick. My other like honorable mention underrated jam is What a Day That Was, which that was the one where they were all lit from
below
bottom.
with the really harsh spotlight. Yeah,
that was super cool.
That was really cool, and they kept it in like
the song's great.
They kept the movie in all close up. So you're just seeing like David Byrne, and half of his face is in shadow. His nose is casting this really long shadow across it. And they only ever cut wide like once or twice. Which,
I think it's mainly on him. It cuts to Edna for a second, and then like back to him.
My like, if I had to do a second honorable mention, it's right before that. Swamp is so fun.
See, Swamp and Take Me to the River, get them, cut them.
Oh my God.
In my opinion.
No, and you know what?
I do like it. It's like okay, but compared to the other ones, I just feel like it.
That is
good.
so much better in the movie than it is as a song. Because they're all like marching during it, and all I could think of was like
fun.
The David Byrne workout plan would be utterly incredible if you just do what he does during that show.
Honestly, they're all doing like aerobics.
Yeah, it's insane. At one point, he's just sprinting around the entire band on stage for like 4 or 5 laps. It's crazy.
I know. I was like, man, everyone in this band. I wonder if there was like a cardio audition.
Yeah,
like what?
It's crazy.
So, what are we thinking the best song is? What would you say your pick would be?
I'm cheating. I'm doing a combo because they're back to back.
Okay.
And I truthfully think it's kind of the obvious one.
Oh yeah.
This must be the place into Once in a Lifetime.
Into Once in a Lifetime, yeah. Which I feel like something about Once in a Lifetime, I like the album version better than any live version I've heard. I just feel like there's something where they captured the magic, but it is still really great in this.
That one feels like so cacophonous that the technical execution on the album is so good. Like it's got the
right.
And like you feel the dynamic percussion of it in the movie, and I certainly appreciate that, but it's also like a technical marvel, which I think where the album comes through, that energy is captured just as well. And he's dancing with a lamp, and that's really fun.
Yeah, I love that part. That feels very like Buster Keaton, like old school, like stage tricks,
modern times, that kind of stuff.
That's when we saw the trailer for Taylor Swift, and I'm like, you know, she employs a lot of stuff other than just screens, but I really like the like just old school stage, like just I'm gonna do some crazy stuff of this. That feels like just such a great like performance art, like right on brand for David Byrne, and shows like what he would go on to do with American Utopia on Broadway, where it's like stop making sense, which I kind of think we should maybe do the same treatment for that. If you haven't seen it, it's on HBO.
I haven't seen it, so
that might be worth a watch and a discussion.
Like this is such a like I'm in my Talking Heads there right now. So having seen this, like I feel like I was the most casual fan in that theater. But I was very happy to be there, which truthfully quite crowded.
Yeah, we were surprised. There was like a good turnout.
It was on a Sunday of opening weekend, which isn't like normally the most crowded, and also
Sunday matinee,
during the Lions game, which I think the Venn diagram of Lions fan and people that want to go see Talking Heads in IMAX might just have me in the middle.
I don't know. They were pretty popular in the 80s. I'm sure there's some crossover.
Yeah. When I was waiting for you, like I saw someone walk in, and it was a guy that was like probably 50 with like white hair and like slim cut jeans, and I was like, that guy's going to see Talking Heads. And I heard him like, oh, one for Talking Heads, please. And like it was just like so obvious.
You're like my brother.
That guy looks cool as hell.
The last because I feel like we covered. Wait, did you say what your best song is though?
Yeah, This Must Be the Place / Once in a Lifetime. If I had to pick, probably Once in a Lifetime, but
support This Must Be the Place. So since we both had that on our list and Life During Wartime both on our list, we'll say those two are our winners. This Must Be the Place, which that is like one of my favorite Talking Heads songs. Yeah. So my favorite Talking Heads song hadn't come out yet. It's a Road to Nowhere on Little Creatures, which was the next album. But the one thing, the other funny thing, I was going to when Take Me to the River started playing, because I was like, I feel like Kevin probably doesn't realize that they did that was not the original, but they did like that was a hit for them. It was a cover.
That I did know.
And so I was going to turn to you and say, I didn't know Big Mouth Billy Bass was in this picture.
So Annie like was at her parents yesterday. That's why we chose this time, because I was like, Annie's gone, I'll go see a movie.
Yeah.
And her mom and dad asked like, oh, what's Kevin up to? She's like, going to see a movie, The Talking Heads. And they said, "Oh yeah, of course we know about the Talking Heads and all that stuff because we were obviously around in there." And like, we're
alive in
surprised
the
you
80s.
don't. You aren't such a fan because a Big Mouth Billy Bass had a Talking Heads song,
You're right. I had no clue.
which they were an owner of and loved
Yes.
dearly until it passed
Oh,
away from
of
the
course.
mechanics shattering because it was made of 3 plastic gears.
Oh man. Well, I think we covered it pretty well. That was Stop Making Sense.
Yeah,
The
go see it.
re-release. Go
It's
see
great.
It was great.
As-
Yeah.
as-
hour and a
as-
half.
Not
Quick,
even. I think it was like an
fun.
hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, it was like a little shorter.
As someone who just is like a very casual Talking Heads fan and appreciates them, it was great. The filmmaking was awesome. Like, we're both obviously
Yeah.
biased towards that. We both
Right.
went to film school, but it was awesome. I like, they should do more concert movie re-releases. Obviously, Jonathan
Yeah.
Demme didn't direct a lot more, but
Right.
these,
Which
like,
they were like friends back in the day. That's how that came about. But yeah, definitely like an important movie in terms of like what live music has become, because this was kind of revolutionary at the time.
And let's give credit where credit's due. This is the last thing we'll do. Mr. Burns' Big Suit Built by Gail Blacker.
Oh, Gail, you're a legend. You're a hero. You're an artiste.
And when he took the jacket off and had the big pants and a normal shirt, he moved into a realm of physicality beyond comprehension.
But
I
do you
didn't
remember what
understand
I said?
anything.
Because he takes off, he wears the whole big suit, and then clearly it's so hot, and he takes off the jacket for the next song. And I said right before he took it off, he was in Tim Robinson. I got too much shit on me. It's so hot. Like, that's what was going through his head.
There's a lot of suit on a very slender man.
Yeah.